Welcome to episode 84 of the Drag Driver Pete Show presented by Summit Racing. We're talking about 666, the circuit registration updates. I got a little nerdy. The slowest and quickest, or the slowest five cars of Hot Rod Drag Week and Race Week. And then I did the quickest 10 cars that didn't finish. I wanted to kind of have some fun this week. And then we're going to talk about YouTube channels that you can watch that will kind of give you some more drag and drive content. And Mr. Joe Haney, the F Cancer Nova, is going to be on at the end of the show to kind of discuss his drag and drive experiences. This guy has been on everything, has won a bunch of stuff and all that. So it's going to be kind of fun. Well, y'all, I got to hit this intro video and we got to get this thing going.
We're gonna pack things up and hit the road, try to make it the next day.
All right, guys. Well, my name is Mike Narks. I am the host of the Drag Drive Repeat show, which happens right here live on Wednesday nights, and the Drag Drive Repeat news, which happens on Saturday mornings. And in a few short weeks, in about 6 weeks, I'll be hosting. But yeah, about 8 weeks, I guess. I'll be hosting the Drag and Drive Awards. All that's presented by Summit Racing. We can't say thank you enough to them for doing that. And y'all, Travis Wise at Revved Up Laser Works has the trophies almost done. So after we get through the Southeast Street Meet, we'll release all of the names and all of the standings for all of the extra trophies and things like that, like the ambassador of Drag and Drive, all that kind of stuff that we do. I'm getting really, really anxious about that. So just want to say PRI is coming around the corner. If you're going to be there, come find us. Please, please, please. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, guys, let's get into this. You know, we can't do this without you guys. I don't know if you know that or not, but our race car friends make the world go round. And I can't wait to see all of you guys this coming. Like, I leave in the morning for 666. So I'll be up there every day with Driven Racing Oil. Gonna hang out. Just want to say thanks. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this stuff with us. We appreciate it for sure. And thank you to our sponsors. We really can't do it without them. They make the travel possible. All this equipment we've been buying lately, they make that possible as well. So thank you so much to Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Change 3D, WAF Racing, who I get to see this week. I'm excited about that. Performer Built Transmissions, who we are going to have some updates on Performa Built and more Drag and Drive content here very, very soon. J-Wire Solutions, our newest sponsor. Love Jay and the team over there at J-Wire. Going to be awesome having them on board. Howard's Cams, of course. Luke, been around for a long time now. Sweet Patina, our first sponsor ever. Thank you to Blake and the team that came on board. And I don't know if we say this enough, but I don't think we do. You can actually use code DDR10 on sweetpatina.com for anything you're purchasing over there for 10% off. PowerTube TV, our newest media partner, and then Racing Junk Classifieds. You know, if you're looking for something across the country or world, that's definitely a spot to go first, is Racing Junk Classifieds. All right. Well, Summit being our lead sponsor here, our title sponsor on the show and news and the awards, you know, those guys they're bit with the bug for sure. They race and they do all of the they used to attend like 50 something events a year. It's wild. I can't imagine that. We need to have Tommy and Jim on here again pretty soon to tell some of those stories. Summit Racing Speed Legacy began in 1968 as a one man startup and is now the world's speed shop with four huge facilities and 200 plus catalog editions. They fuel your passion, they save you money, they deliver fast, and offer top notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. You can find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And also, like we're going to talk here in just a minute, on the On All Cylinders podcast, automotive discussions, kind of like what you're listening to now, or like what we're going to talk about in a minute. Huge tech tips. From humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. You can find everything there at summitracing.com. Obviously, want you to go there all the time. On the On All Cylinders podcast, these guys actually, in 1 minute, it blew my mind, gave tips and tricks on installing an LS camshaft. They work with GM High Performance. It's a YouTube channel, and have them come over, kind of give some tips and tricks on that. And it's a 1 minute video on an LS Cam install. Now, watching this video back, it made me realize how I did probably not did the old truck the correct way, but we still have cam stuff in there. So, that's kind of the way it goes. So definitely watch that. And then, of course, while you're shopping on summitracing.com, sneak over there, type in Drag Driver Pete, find you a t shirt, find you a hoodie. And there's some additional stuff that's coming in the next few weeks from Summit for the Drag Driver Pete brand. That'll be right there on Summit Racing. I can't wait to be able to release all of that to you guys. And maybe we'll do that with Tommy and Jim on the show. I think that would be a good way to release it. Maybe we can all wear this new stuff. That's all I'm going to say. All righty. Drag Driver Pete, obviously dragdriverpete.com. That's going to be your spot. Like, if you're not following us on social media, obviously I don't know why you're here, but the website also has a ton more stories. It has a lot more information. And while we do this show every week and have some fun with it, this is kind of like a high level, I don't know, information dump for you guys. The website under the stories, or the, daily dose is what we call it, the daily dose of drag and drive. You can get in there and read a lot deeper into what we talk about here on the show. We'll go into basically our notes that are here in the articles or the topics that we talk about. You can go in there and find a lot more detail, but you can also find these new decals that are going to be going up. I'm going to try and get these done tonight. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to get these done tonight because I'm going to spend some time with the family, and then whoever is at 666 gets the first crack at these pieces of decal, or these decals that Eric White created. Love this. The PBR beer can, the Drag Driver Pete parking lot beers can. I think we need to turn this into I think this needs to be a koozie, maybe. Get that done. And then, of course, the homage to my favorite restaurant, the yellow with the black letters there, the Waffle House kind of signage decal there. I'll have these with me on 666. And of course, the pink Drag Driver Pete decal that's up top. Again, I'll have all of these on with me at 666, and I'll have a lot more of the other stuff, the red, white, and blue decals, the standard one color decal, all that kind of stuff will be with me on 666. All right, let's jump into some real meat and potatoes of why you're here, now that we've gotten about 8.5 minutes in here. So, handling all of that, let's move into the Driven Racing Oil event update segment here. Driven Racing Oil is the performance oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application, whether launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off road and circle track, or pushing the limits in top fuel drag boats and demo derbies. Winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting edge race machine, GP1's unique surface cling and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for those flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol or ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil and enhanced with state of the art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance. Again, drivenracingoil.com to find all the stuff there. Driven Racing Oil on any social media app that you're on. They're going to be at 666. And this is where we're going to have some fun here. I'm going to be coming live from the booth of Driven Racing Oil. So when you see it, you'll see a camera set up. You'll see two microphones, and you're going to see my computer sitting there. Y'all, listen, we've got to do this. We've got to tell some stories to folks that are at home. This is where we're going to have fun. So, obviously, 666 is going to be live streamed. My part of this will be just interviews. Folks that are coming by, I'm going to be heckling a lot of people that I know. So as you walk by, if you haven't talked to me yet, you better get over there and let's have some conversations because I want the people at home to know they need to come out and visit the tracks, but also they need to get up and sign up for some of these. This is an epic adventure that we're going to be on this next week, and I'm really excited. I'm going to be there on Thursday and Friday at Ozark Raceway Park, Saturday at Mocan Dragway, Sunday at Tulsa Raceway Park. On Monday, it's a drive day as we get to Amarillo. We're gonna set up at Amarillo, and then unfortunately, I've got to bounce. So you've got 4 race days, 5 days total to find me and tell some stories. Give those folks at home a shout out. Say hi to your wife or kids or husband or whatever that's at the house. Let's say hi to all these people that are at work. That's what we want to really do. So the plan is to every time somebody comes up, we'll fire up a new live stream and be able to tell some stories. I'll have some stuff that will be I would say kind of static. It'll be the same 5 questions, let's say, to everybody to begin the conversation, and then we'll kind of see where the conversation takes us. Really, so guys like Rich Guido that are going to be there, guys like Rovic, Chris Wozniak of WAF Racing, one of our other sponsors, he's coming. So we're going to be able to tell a lot of these conversations, a lot of these stories, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it as well. And then, of course, Thursday night, if you guys know, Waffle House is my favorite spot to eat, right? This Waffle House in particular, number 628 in Springfield, money, they're awesome. They let us actually do a breakfast there when we did the circuit earlier in the year. So we actually hung out from like 7 to 11 at Waffle House number 628. Well, Billy Nobles, the kind of the regional manager of the Waffle Houses in Springfield, messaged me and goes, "Hey, I see there's another Dragon Drive. Dude, let's get together. Let's do this." So tomorrow night, Thursday night, October 10th, 9 p.m. to whenever, we're going to hang out. Driven Racing Oil has given $250 to for it's basically like a blank check. 200, well, it's not a blank check, $250 check to Waffle House to cover any food up until it's gone. And then you guys will be covering it on your own. But also, Billy and the Waffle House team are bringing in 15% discounts to anyone that comes in with the wristband that is involved in the event somehow. And a ton of coupons. I think he's giving me like 150 coupons, which should be good for $300 or $400 worth of food as well. So it's not only usable at that, so we can take that. If you don't use it Thursday night, bounce that thing. Let's do it when we eat in Joplin or Tulsa or wherever we're going to end up later on down the road at another Waffle House. So I see Mr. Eric White here in the back. You want to jump on, sir? We can talk about some fun stuff.
What's
What's up,
happening?
man? Nothing. Nothing. Just getting the show rolling here. Thought we'd talk about some fun stuff, as it goes along. I realized I'm not as good by myself.
Yeah, little
Co-
situation I had to take care of.
Yeah, hey, that's all right, man. That's the way it goes sometimes. That's the way it goes sometimes. Well, I saw your shirt through the thing there. Why don't you show us what you got going on there?
Yeah, we got the actually it's on this side, the 666 shirt. And you can't see, but above me I've got the 666 tin sign hanging up in the podcast room here. So I had to get entered into the gasser giveaway, of course. So since
Oh
I
yeah.
won't be at 666, I figured I'd pick me up a couple items to have at the house.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, I'll be there. Hopefully, I can grab you something, and that's why I'm wearing a Southeast Street and Eat shirt tonight because I have every, drag driver Pete, every driven racing oil, all the Summit shirts, everything I've got that's sponsor related is in my suitcase already packed for in the morning when I roll out.
Did I miss the sticker reveal?
I didn't have them, so I put it up on the screen for the photos you showed. But yeah, look at that, dude! I can't wait. That thing is like the perfect size too.
Yeah, so, slightly
Yeah.
bigger than or slightly smaller than a hand.
Yep. I was telling him I think we've got to make that a koozie somehow. That,
Yeah,
that
I've
that's
been
got to be a
looking
koozie.
yeah, I've been looking into it to see how to do that, and I'm not quite sure yet. I've got some ideas, but we'll have to play around. But for now, I'll stick to my not sponsored ad again. Garage beer.
Yeah, bring it on, Garage Beer. We need some of that for sure. All right, well, let's talk about the circuit, dude, because registration opens in 3 weeks. This is
Yeah.
kind of exciting. April 3rd through 6th, pre-party and registration, and I'm going to release it here. We're going to be doing an early tech on the 3rd. It's limited to 60 cars. It'll be part of what you sign up with when you sign up on October 31st as an early list, or sorry, as a returning racer on October 31st. November 1st will be early listers, and then November 2nd as as everybody, the public registration. So pretty excited about that. That money, that $50 registration to do it early, will go directly to the charity of choice. I've whittled it down to two different charities. I'm just kind of waiting to see who has the best like who I feel like can not, I mean, everybody can use it, but who's going to use it the best, right? There's one that's a youth services in Tulsa, and I really like it just simply because I feel like um, young kids get a lot of help, obviously, which they should. They have no way to take care of themselves, right? They can't go get jobs. But youth and young adults, those are the folks that we can help. I feel like the most by bringing them into the car community, showing them that, hey, there's a lot of love here, there's opportunities here, jobs, all that kind of stuff that goes along with that. So that's kind of where I'm leaning, but I won't have that until I get back from 666.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yep.
Did
So
you
again,
uh
3 weeks.
did you show the special stickers for 666?
I did not. I
Have
did.
you received them?
No, I have not. Yeah, they were supposed to be here today, so super mega panic. Um, so I'm hoping that it says they could arrive by 10 p.m. So we'll see. But yesterday was an up and down roller coaster. It was that they were not going to be here, and that they were going to be here, and that they were not going to be here this morning again. So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm
We'll see.
uh I'm super excited for those. Obviously, I designed them, but
Yeah,
I haven't seen what they looked like in person. So
yeah.
kind of excited for you to get them and send me some pictures of that because it's going to be pretty awesome.
Well, and again, it's throwing back to what we did at Hot Rod Drag Week, which was awesome. So anytime we kind of saw a car that we thought was cool, anytime something stuck out to us, I'm not gonna say awarded, but we gave these little, Hot Rod Drag Week stickers. And so I think this is gonna be the same thing. And so kind of the way to get there is to come, like what it says here, come talk to me while we're at 666. Find us, get that decal when you tell your story. So it's going to be kind of fun. And I think I ordered 100 of them.
Hmm.
So
That's just the right amount.
just gonna have to hammer through that, man. I got 5 days. That's 20 people a day. I think I can heckle that many folks, right?
Do we know what the car count number is yet?
So Luke made a post that said 300 will be coming through. So
Ooh.
I would think probably 200 race cars, 100 sick ward folks, which is awesome.
Yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. All right. Well, 23 days again. That was yesterday. So we're 3 weeks from registration for the circuit 2025. It's going to be a big deal. We're going to have a blast this year. All righty. Let's talk about WAF racing, man.
Yeah. Do you want me to hit this ad read
Do it, bud.
since you've been talking for a bit? All right. WAF Racing is a collective of engineers, racers, and hot rod enthusiasts who have come together in one place to create. With passions for racing, hot rodding cars and bikes, both classics and new, you just never know what we may be working on. Creating custom parts, tools, and electrical gadgets is just what they like to do. You never know what this ecstatic group may have up their sleeves. Check them out at wafracing.com and check them out on social media. You can search WAF Racing on Facebook, Instagram, and are they on YouTube?
I don't think so. I
Okay,
don't think so yet. Well, I'm going to push for that as we load into sick week here, 666.
there you go.
Well, if you guys have not been following Rajveer Ahuja, or Rovik as we all call him, you need to do that badly because he's having the adventure of a year, man. He was on Drag Week helping out I saw him helping in every aspect of Drag Week, and then now he's coming on 666. I think this is his fourth or fifth. Dragon Drive event this year, something like that. And if
Yeah.
folks don't remember, he won the Road King of Dragon Drive last year at our awards, and I think he's probably trying to do that again this year.
Yeah. Cool comment here from Kyle Dennis saying, I wish we could do 666. Sadly, work won't allow it, but we are planning on 6 week. You guys are awesome. Your video helped to bring attention to a serious suspension issue on our car. How cool is that?
Nice. That's perfect. All right. Well, I was thinking about that the other day as cars were launching. We were getting some of the content and stuff, and I was like, man, I wonder if anybody watches this and goes, "Oh, look at what my car did!" Like, um, it really showed as I was at Midwest Drag Race Series over the weekend because there was a guy that would launch and just leave left every time, and I kept thinking, man, if you know it's leaving left, you've got to get out of that. You got to figure out what's going on with that. So, anyways,
Yeah, super cool that we can not only bring coverage, but obviously something like that can help a racer out.
yep. And then of course, WAF Racing is going to be here. We kind of went over this last week about the spark plug holders, which is going to be cool. Oh, here we go. Hot off the press drama continues with Bill Hoskinson. Man, that dude hey, listen, he loves Dragon Drive. That's for sure. Who did it first? Back to the Streets did. So I'm going to have to find out, but I'm sure it's probably surrounding some true street class that doesn't need a bar, that wants to go eights, and he doesn't need any tech stuff at a Dragon Drive event. So, who knows? Who knows what Bill's got himself into now? But hey, if it's helping push the streetcar and Dragon Drive agenda, let's go.
Yeah, Dave Curtis here saying Central Victorian Dragon Drive is now 28 days until their next event in November. Whew.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. That's that event again. Dave Curtis, 2 Dragon Drive events a year now. Those guys are nuts. I was wearing my Central Victorian Dragon Drive shirt earlier today, but the cat, I sat down in the chair for a minute. The cat climbed up on me, and it was covered in white hair. So was not gonna was not gonna be wearing that right here on the show. So good luck to those guys. I'm excited about that. We've got a few more events we're going to talk about as we get into next week's show, kind of a deep dive into the last 3 or 4 events that are out there. Because after 666, we really only have one, maybe 2 national level events for points that we go to wrap up the year before we run into the PRI, Dragon Drive Awards show.
And Jack Brooks here saying, looking forward to y'all 666 coverage, and I missed out on special drag week, drag drive repeat decals. Listen, we still have some,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
let's.
just a few though. So yeah, send a message to I have those, right?
Yes, you should have all of them
Okay.
now.
Yep. Send me a message, Jack, and I'll get it in the mail for you. Or actually, no, I have his address from other decals that he ordered.
There you go.
Yeah, it's exciting. All right, Bucket List Mob in here. I've been watching their videos the last couple days. All right, J Wire Solution stuff. If you want to, I'll read. Oh, hey, no, you know what? We're not done with Raj yet. Man, I feel like I'm all over the place tonight. Sorry. Uh, yeah, Rovic said he's actually in Nashville a little bit and drove in with Chris Wozniak and Lily, his girlfriend. So it's going to be kind of fun to see those guys again. He said little carb adjustment using the awesome carb tool kit by WAF Racing. Go check out all their great carb tuning products. Again, WAF is one of our sponsors here at the channel, and simply that came out of conversations about keeping carbs alive.
Yep.
Like Chris Wozniak is an engineer by trade and by brain. I'm telling you, he just really enjoys that kind of stuff, and a lot of the racing stuff that comes along with that, he does for fun, and it comes out. It worked out to be this super cool whole batch of tools that they've got built now for all the carburetors, and we said the spark plug tool and the carrier the other day. So these guys are headed out. The picture on the right is actually Rovic and the team at Springfield, Missouri right now. They're checked into their hotel, so we'll see them first thing tomorrow morning at 666. Again, my plan is to drop my daughter off at school about 7:15, come home, throw the last few things in the car, and then roll up. So I should be there around 10 o'clock, something like that.
Johnny Allen saying circuit is Tulsa, Mocan, and then Tulsa again. Correct? Yes, it is.
That is right, Johnny. Yep.
Vinny saying he'll be at PRI Friday and Saturday.
Sweet. That's exciting.
And Dave Curtis in here.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I don't think we can say that on the air here. Yeah. Uh, Again, JWire Solutions just moved into their new facility, man. I want to give them another huge pat on the back. And Jay said that they had two openings. They're not used to this much space, so they can fit more cars. So if you have a car, you're in the well, you don't have to even be in the Detroit area. They'll take it everywhere. Brandon Parker here, race cat friends. Yes, that's exactly right. They'll take it from anywhere. They will pick up and deliver for free within 100 miles of Ann Arbor is where he lives, I think. So
Nice.
expert car and marine wiring solutions you can trust. J-Wire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, race car, drag and drive car, and more. Plus, they offer products that make your driving experience better, like the blinker module. This is a big deal that is a must for all drag and drive cars. This module will allow your rear turn signals to continue to function while the brake pedal is applied, just like stock. Just like cars should, this allows that to happen. Huge win because essentially, as you put your brakes on in a, I would say universal wiring harness is probably the best way to word that. That we all seem to put in when we're first doing this is your brake lights, your blinkers will stop blinking when you have your brakes on. Which obviously, if you're turning, your brakes are most likely on anyway. So
Right.
yeah. So I wanted to have some fun. I wanted to get a little bit kind of nerdy here. This is probably stuff that nobody's going to care about, but as I begin digging through, 4,000 racers from the year and all of the kind of neat stats that come from that, um, I put together the slowest 5 averages of mile an hour at Hot Rod Drag Week. So this is kind of fun. So Travis Beach, 1970 F100 average 75 miles an hour. Thought that was kind of fun. His slowest, 67. His fastest was 84. So that's kind of cool. Your next up, number 4 on slowest average mile per hour from Hot Rod Drag Week, Orlando Garza in a 67 Mustang with an average of 72 miles an hour. So he had his slowest at 50 miles an hour, which is just a simple beam brake. And his fastest was 108 on day 5, but his other stuff was nowhere close to that. It was like 65 and 78 miles an hour. So I don't know what was going on there, but he definitely found or figured something out and went 108 on the last day there when we were back at National Trail. Chad Witham, 75 Plymouth Duster. We love this thing. This was one of the cars that we found in the staging lanes on day one and fell in love with. So his average was 67 miles an hour, 67 point something. But I thought this was really cool because when you typically see slow miles an hour or slow ETs, it's some crazy like guy will be running eights and then gets a 20, right? Because something happened that day. No, this guy actually earned the slowest mile an hour, in my opinion, because his slowest ET or slowest mile an hour, 67.1, his fastest mile per hour, 68.23. So 5 days within a 1.1 mile an hour window, he was giving that car all it had. So big shout out to Chad Witham. And then Mark Counts in a 69 GMC 2500, average of 60 miles an hour. His slowest was a 50, which is a beam brake. He actually had that 2 days. So I don't know if he just took the slower time because it was easier or better than his ET that he turned in. But his quickest mile an hour, 81 miles an hour on day one. So he
Wow.
he can move out, pretty slow. And then this is probably the saddest story of the week. Mr. Leroy Edwards. Dude, the 2023 custom roadster, that yellow beast with nitrous and a pro charged big block and all the stuff. His average was 44 miles an hour.
That thing
So
could not hook up for anything.
oh man, that was tough. So at that point, you're kind of having some fun, and I would imagine the power of that car makes it pretty tough to make a real pass unless you've really got a ton of time in suspension setup. But his slowest was 20, so I don't know. Maybe that was they put maybe that should be 50. I don't know, is what I'm saying. But the fastest mile an hour, 66. So he didn't have some big crazy week. Like that car should go way faster. I would think with a pro charger and some nitrous, that car's got to make 700 or 800 horsepower without even breathing on it.
Yeah. Vinny here saying new turbo and arc panel installed on the car is up and running again. Tim said, I booked our Tulsa rooms last night and they were sold out of the 60-ish rooms, but adding more for $10 more.
Hey, that's great. That is great.
And then Kyle saying he had the quarter house
Hmm.
Mustang that his wife couldn't get up there with the camera because they had their daughter. Our videos let him see that he needed an anti-roll bar.
Yeah, that car was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. And Alexandria here, Return of the Burnout Queen.
Yes, please. We're ready. And we're going to the same spot she did that one in, so we can maybe end up with down there at the end of the street again by cars on the route there in Galena,
Yep.
Kansas. All right, so real quick, slowest five of race week 2, because we want to obviously include all of those. I don't have the Redwood Rally stuff figured out yet, but slowest five of race week, Darren Smith and NA small block 71 Dodge Demon with now these are all going to be ETs. Okay, so 14,749 average ET. That's the slowest ET of the week for Rocky Mountain Race Week for folks that finished. His slowest ET 21.65. So big pat on the back to Darren for not taking the 20 and the easy way out and taking that 21.65. You earned that one, buddy. Good job. And his quickest 10.472. So that car was quick. Just
Man, 10.472 to a 21.65.
Yeah, can you imagine what the 21 would feel like? I think
Yeah.
one of the other days he ran like a 16 as well. So something happened there. Number 4 on the list of slowest five, five slowest ETs of Race Week 2024 is Travis Bergman in stick shift, an 89 Ford Mustang with a 14.766. His slowest was a 16.106 and his quickest was a 13.843. And I want to say everybody's quickest in here was day 3, wherever they were at there. Number 3 on that list is Kelly Springerly in the hot rod class in a 66 Chevelle, 15,494 average with the slowest of a 16.9 and quickest of a 14.8. So big swing there, 2 seconds. And then Jared Aspergren in a small block, 65 Impala, 15.99. Man, that's slow. But slowest ET 16,843 and quickest 15,585. So, you know, 1.3 seconds there difference. And then your number one slowest person to finish the week of Race Week 2024 is Troy Meek in the hot rod class with a 66 Ford Fairlane with an 1866 average.
Wow.
His slowest was a 19,327 and his quickest, are you ready for this? 18,349.
Nice.
Neil Sabo saying, yeah, Capital Raceway was day 3. So Steven even said Capital Raceway had it on point. The track was hooked, and everybody ran, not maybe not personal best, but their fastest of the week there for sure.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's definitely some interesting stats. I know somebody, I think last week when we were talking about the top 5 quickest, had asked if we had looked at the top 5 slowest, and we hadn't at the time. So
Yep.
I'm glad you went through and checked all that stuff out.
Yeah, big shout out to Danny Fathead. And like things like that are interesting to me. I know they're probably not interesting to anybody else, but the story that tells to somebody that has like a 15-second car that when everybody that's fast or class winners get all the attention, um, you're like, man, I don't want to come out until I have this car that goes faster. Keep building, keep buying parts from Summit Racing and upgrading and things like that. You don't have to do that, man. Bring that thing out. Let's have some fun.
And he said they raced in the morning as well.
So the weather was a little better for sure. Track was probably better that way too.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll let you read the Molly ad read there, and then we jump into this 10 quickest quarter miles of drag week.
All right. Attention, high performance enthusiasts and racers. Meet the Molly Motorsports Power Pack Kit, your ultimate solution for power packed performance. The Power Pack pistons are made from either 4032 aluminum alloy to allow for tighter cylinder to wall clearances and improved temperature stability, or 2618 alloy to allow for increased detonation resistance. What sets Molly apart? It's their forged pistons, Grafal coating, and phosphate treatment for peak performance and durability. Elevate your ride with Molly Motorsports, where performance meets precision. Visit mollymotorsports.com for more details. And for our podcast listeners, Molly is spelled Mahle.
Yeah, let's talk about quickest cars, quickest quarter mile cars, or quickest quarter mile passes of cars that didn't finish.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I get it. They didn't finish. You got to make the trip. That's the whole thing, right? But
Yep.
I thought this was kind of fun because a lot of times you end up with some pretty quick cars. So obviously, Ned Dunphy, number one car. Obviously, that car is so fast. 619 on day one, 6203 on day two as his last day to make passes. His 6203 is actually the quickest pass on day two in Hot Rod Drag Week history. So, micro dumb records, maybe. I don't know, but I thought that was pretty cool. And just it was setting the stage for some serious trouble in that overall record that's stood since 2016.
Yeah. Man, that's a good photo.
Man, there's a guy named Eric White that took that photo. He did a great job. And
Did
then,
you happen to see the ones where his brakes or something went out? Did you see that series of pictures where you've got
yes,
the smoke behind it?
yes, that was a great shot. It's like you can tell, oh man, he is full on panic mode.
Yeah, I was going through them and I was about to take them out. Same with the Grand National that had the trans fluid on the track.
Hmm.
But I was like, no, if you look at these in order, like there's a story going on here. So I had to leave that group of photos for both those cars in there.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I think that's what's fun about photos in relation to video is because that video would have been 2 seconds, maybe at the most.
Hmm.
But those photos people are going to look at and see and go through all that. Well, next up is Jerry and Matt Sweet. This car here, 762. That is the Pro Street naturally aspirated single pass record and Hot Rod Drag Week naturally aspirated single pass record. Yeah, naturally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pretty amazing to see that come out of this car. This car, when they get it sorted and it makes the trip, it's gonna break all the records. Like it's the new standard by which we can see some drag and drive stuff coming. But they got to finish the week, man. They were
Yeah.
swapping um, rocker arms on the side of the road. With that much lift and that much, I don't know, just on the ragged edge, it becomes very difficult to keep a naturally aspirated car alive.
Yeah, and
Again, that's why I like Boost.
in the pictures that I'm working on right now, I just saw that there was I think it was a broken rocker that we saw at the
Mhm.
hotel parking lot. So
Yep,
yeah,
yep, broke
it
it right
sucked
in
to
half.
sucked to see them obviously have those kind of troubles, but you know, that's racing.
Well, and especially at that level. Again,
Hmm.
I made a post earlier today or last week or something like that that said, "That's why I love 10-second cars." A lot of times they live a lot longer, that's for sure. Well, Rick Trunkett, big shout out to him. He is our third on there, 7,799. He didn't finish the week. Christoph Thompson with an 8,219, and then Mike Finnegan, this car here in Blasphemy, dude, 8,704. This car just flat is a blast to watch.
Yeah,
It's a blast to watch. I
yeah.
love it. Big wheelie on day three.
I can't remember which day it was, but I think he said he forgot to turn the rev limiter on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he left with it and it was awesome. So a
Yeah,
lot of great pictures out there of that car. Unfortunately, that probably had to do with some of the damage that would mean it would not be able to finish the week. Jack Brooks, 889 as his quickest pass. I think that puts him number 6 or something like that. John Huber, this story here makes me sad. John has had the worst run of drag and drive stuff for drag week ever. He's finished 3 of 10 or 11 events now. Hasn't been back since 2017. I mean, like, this was his year to do that. He drives a 4-cylinder turbo car. And I literally finally caught up with him in the lanes on Wednesday. And then he's towing it out later that night. Man, I was like, I'm bad luck, dude. I'm sorry. Me and me and Jeremy Howell had that for a little while to where anytime I talked to him, he didn't finish the week. So, if I see John next time, I'm not talking, bud. I'm just going to dodge you. I promise. Jesse Harrison, the C10 truck, the diesel C10, Tom Hogshead, man, this is the sad story. I didn't even know this until I was looking at this stuff. I didn't know Tom didn't finish. Tom's been around since the beginning, like '05. Like him and Ian, his son, have done, I think, almost every drag week that's been available.
Yeah, the photo that I posted wearing the Drag Week '05 shirt, I believe, was
Yep.
him.
Yep. Yeah, it sure was. Pretty crazy. And then let's jump into some race week stuff here because we got to get to our boy Joe here. We may have to skip that last part in the Howard's Cam segment. I didn't think I'd talk this much, but a couple cars here. I want to give a big shout out to the again quickest ET that did not finish for race week. Steve Farber with an 8:138. Keith Mott, Maat, however you say that, 9106. Cameron Andreen, who is this truck. Nope, sorry, that truck there. Cameron Andreen, 9277. Billy Sithoff in a Volvo 1005. John Hardesty 106. Clayton Myrtle 109. Michael Hollis, who's right here. Love this car. I need to build me one of these at some point in my life. 11004 quickest pass in the 110 index, dude. He was on the money. That car could have done it there. And then next up is I think this is Brian Carmy with 11082, and it's them fixing the car in the parking lot. So sorry. Sorry to bust you out there, but that was really the only photos that they had that were cool in their Facebook photos album there. So that is some of your quickest cars from race week that did not finish. So I'll be posting this up in an article a little bit later, probably Thursday or probably Friday or Saturday, something like that. So again, big shout out to Molly. Eric Grillo was at Race Week. George Wright was at Hot Rod Drag Week. I mean, dude, it was Molly all around. Alec was at Drag Week. It was a blast to hang out with those guys.
Yep,
Alex,
100%.
not Alec. Alex, not Alex. Man, get that mixed up because Alec works for Summit. So
Right.
yeah. All right, I'll let you lead into here and then into the power tube.
All right. So obviously, we want to thank you guys for watching. Everybody that's in here making comments. You guys keep us going all hours of the night, making notes. We're making notes right up until we go live. So you guys commenting on everything keeps us motivated to keep doing what we're doing. And we couldn't do it without our sponsors. They make all of our travel possible and help us get all this coverage. So thank you to Summit Racing Equipment, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Chains 3D, WAF Raising, Performa-Built Transmissions, our new sponsor, J-Wire Solutions, Howard's Cam, Sweet Patina, PowerTube TV, and Racing Junk. And you guys know the deal, our gentleman's agreement. This is just saying that we're going to continue doing what we're doing because we love it, but it does take time, it takes energy, it takes money. So from you guys, we are looking for sharing these live streams, sharing posts, sending people to join the Race Car Friends group, all of that stuff. If you guys do that, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. And then PowerTube TV. Rev up your engines with PowerTube TV, the ultimate destination for automotive entertainment. Stream for free on the web, Roku, mobile apps, and more. Catch replays of our shows and exclusive content from top creators, featuring classics like Pinks and Pastime, plus original new shows. PowerTube TV isn't just a platform, it's a community. Join the content creator developer development program like we're in and be part of something special. So find more at watchpttv.com.
Yeah, I'm a fan of PowerTube. I was actually talking to Ray today and recorded my Southeast Gassers Association host duties this morning.
Very nice. And they're going to be at PRI, and they're looking for creators to come by and have those conversations with them.
Yeah, and in talking to Ray, they've upgraded to a 10 by 50 booth, and there's something really special that we're going to be a part of on Saturday morning that'll kick off a huge day, and that will lead into a huge 2025. So I'm excited about that.
Heck yeah. All right, and then we'll go ahead and jump in. We'll play this video real quick, and then we'll keep moving on.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Harris from the Monoxide Podcast. Real quick, Howard's Cams was founded as a racing cam manufacturer almost 80 years ago when Howard Johansson created Howard's Power and Racing Equipment in 1945. Howard's Cams has always used on-track experience to design the most powerful designs, and today they have an even greater group of experienced racers in circle track, drag racing, road race, mud bog, and marine. They use all this input plus the most advanced computer software to design the most competitive race-winning products. From pioneers in drag racing and oval track to cutting-edge marine development, Howard's Cams is at the forefront of the industry. So make sure to reach out to our friend, Luke B, for your next valve train upgrade.
All right. Well, again, yeah, thank you so much to Luke B. Love that dude. Anytime you have valve train questions, definitely hit him up. If you don't have his contact or are not already friends with him on Facebook, hit us up. We'll get you in touch with him and create that conversation. Well, one thing I want to talk about is Mr. Joe Hajny. We're going to bring him in here in just a second, but this guy's done a lot, man. He has won classes. He's driven this car across the country. He's been at, I don't know, we're going to find out how many events he's done. And then they also run a YouTube channel. So we're going to find out kind of some tips and tricks around that and some tips and tricks around drag and drive stuff. So, Mr. Joe, tell us who you are and where you're from and what you drive.
So we're from Iowa. My wife and I, we've got a 1971 Chevy Nova. That is right now. It was a recent purchase. I guess we picked it up, back in 2020, just as kind of something fun to have. She wanted a Harley. I wanted a muscle car. This is what we got. And we go into it a lot about like kind of what we wanted. And I wanted a Chevelle. She, was looking at different colors of Chevelles and I like this one. I said, that's not a Chevelle, that's a Nova. She goes, well, I like it better. So once we got the kind of seal of approval from the missus, we just went with it. So we're actually in the middle of building a new vehicle, purpose built for drag and drive, actually.
Oh,
nice. All right. Well, you going to give us some details or we got to wait?
Yeah. So, we've done 5 now. Drag weekend we finished up. Was it 2 weekends ago? That was our 5th drag and drive event in probably 15 months. So in just under a year and a half, we've done 3 sick events and then the 2 drag weekends.
That's awesome.
And from watching, paying attention, some terrific mentorship from other drivers and stuff, we decided, all right, it's time to build a vehicle. And we got the itch right after Sick Summer last year. We had our truck purchased probably in August of last year. And we ended up starting the build then, but we haven't been heavy into it until right before Sick Summer of this year. So it's a 1952 Chevy 3100 on an S10 chassis with a 6-liter and a big single turbo. We're going to run leaf spring still, but it's from the ground up built specifically for drag and drive. So the wiring harness that we're putting into it, easy to access. The whole front end, we're going to go with like the shoebox Chevy style front end where it's going to rotate forward or completely pull off. For working on it, obviously, you want it to be easy to work on and accessible for when you do inevitably have some sort of breakdown. Like you're saying, faster cars are going to break down more often. So,
well, let's talk about what the Nova is. Obviously, if you've watched any at all, we're kind of having a affliction for Novas. But you won the Pro DYO class.
Yep.
So what's it take to do that at Sick Summer?
At Sick Summer, Sick Week, to win Dial Your Own, you either need a bracket car that can street drive, which is usually bracket cars aren't being built for, road driving, continuous miles and stuff like that. So you either need a bracket car that can street drive, or you need a car that you can hot lap the crap out of and just know how to slow it down or speed it up to hit that dial. And I mean, we're no stranger to making, 7 or 8 passes in a day trying to get our number. So,
yeah, 7 or 8 passes in a day, that takes a lot of planning and a lot of commitment, man. That's tough.
Yeah. Well, because, the weather is going to change. You might be able to, sick events are fun because you might run in the morning, but chances are you're going to run in the afternoon or around noonish. And your AD is going to be higher. The temperatures are going to be higher, which is going to throw off your possibly your time from the day before. And when we're talking about, winning or losing a dial your own event, we're talking thousands of seconds.
Yeah.
I got second at Six Summer 23 with a 19th thou spread. So I tied, and the guy was faster than me. He ended up winning this year's Six Summer, and then Sick Week, this 24, we won with a 41 thou spread. But I mean, everybody was hurting. We all started off really good, and then just the weather went to crap. And it hurt us. So.
Man, that's
Wow.
hard.
Yeah. So another thing is you also have a YouTube channel. So
Right.
tell us a little bit about that. I saw you just had a drag weekend video pop up. So tell us
Yep.
a little bit about the channel and what people can expect to see on there.
So, when it comes to drag racing or drag and drive videos, you're going to see a lot of stuff out there, a lot of content from a lot of great creators. And most of the content is, this is us on the track. This is how fast we can go. These are the performance mods we're making to get that extra 10th of a second, break into the 7s or break into the 6s. Unfortunately, we're not going to be there for a little bit. But our channel, I think the main thing we wanted to do was educate, for the new drag racers. Like, we were kind of fresh into it. We were very fortunate. I'll give a shout out to my buddy Dean Anderson. He's done a bunch of sick events, drag week as well. He really kind of mentored us, and we were very fortunate to have him and his wisdom. But there's a lot of people that come out and just don't know what's going on, don't know how to do a drag and drive. Heck, might not even know how to drag race. Lately I've seen guys that will come through a staging lane and no one's instructed them on how to stage their car. How do you roll up, single bulb, double bulb? How do you do a burnout? There isn't a lot of that out there, but because of this explosion of drag and drive from guys like Cletus McFarland, Tom Bailey, all of the other the folks that are really pushing drag and drive, Finnegan and Freiberg, everybody wants to do it now. It's becoming, especially in the Midwest, and we're seeing from our side kind of a little bit of a lack of education. People can come out with a fast car and want to drag race, but what do they want to do? So that's what we're trying to do with our YouTube channel, is kind of, hey, this is what you need to do. This is how to go about it. These are the do's and don'ts. So there's a lot of stuff that we're planning.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'll tell you, from putting out hundreds and hundreds of drag and drive events coverage, man, you just got to stay at it, and people eventually watch it, right?
Right.
Well, why do you like drag and drive so much?
It's got to be the community, the people that we've met in the short time we've been doing it. Everybody from, like I said, Dean, who helped us out, to guys like Rovic, or Keith Turk, guys who you kind of like, you're going to put them up here, right? These guys kind of know what they're doing, but will have no problem sitting there and chatting with you in the staging lanes and having a conversation. And when you're passionate about what you do, like drag racing, motorsports in general, or just the adventure of getting out with your wife, your dad, your husband, or anybody, and you get out, you don't want to kind of be stuck in this weird isolation where, here's the Tom Baileys and the Freibergers and Finnegans and the Alex Taylors and stuff. And then here's us over here, and we're kind of on our own. All those same people will talk to you, will help educate you, We'll, if you're stuck on the side of the road, we'll, go through anything. We bumped into Goldstone at during Six Summer. It was probably, I think, about 1 a.m. at a gas station, and we had a 45-minute conversation with him, and we still talk to him occasionally. One of the winningest drivers this year had no problem talking to a guy running 13.4s and a daily driver Chevy Nova that had F Cancer Racing on the side. Had no problem with it.
Yep. And I think that's one of the funnest things about the drag and drive community is nobody is as cool as anybody else. Everybody is there having fun. And I hope that always stays within this community.
Yeah. Tyler Walker here saying I'm hoping to try out drag and drive for the first time in 2025, which is perfect because that leads me into our next question. What 2 or 3 tips would you give newcomers that are coming into drag and drive?
The first and foremost is going to be just watch some drag racing or drag racing tips. If you don't get out to your local track for like the testing tunes, and you meet somebody, just watch some drag racing online and kind of get a good understanding first off of how it works, because these are busy events. And one of the things to do is just understand kind of the nature of the event. How are you going to be called to the lanes? If you get out there for that first day and you start hearing Derek Putnam on the radio or something like that, hollering, or Brian Loans, hollering, you need to get to the lanes, you need to do this. You might be still in the pits changing tires or something and be kind of caught unaware. So just familiarize yourself kind of with how the sport works. From there, make sure that you've got everything in line with how to keep that car going from track to track. It doesn't matter if you're trying to win or if you are just trying to survive an event. You've got to be ready for it. And that could be anything from having spark plugs on hand when you foul them out, or jets for your carb, or water bottle in your cooler. There are a lot of things that are going to make a guy fall out, and you got to be ready for all of those. So just prepare yourself is one of the big ones. And then have fun. You understand that your first time, like the gentleman, if you're coming out for your first time, man, unless you know your car and you're prepared for something, I was blown away. Absolutely. I almost had tears in my eyes when they called my name for second place in Dial Your Own at Six Summer, because I just came out. It wasn't until day 4 or 5 that I really understand how the spread rule worked. I thought it was like an average against your original time. So I had no idea what I was doing, and we got lucky. Just go out and have fun, meet people, talk to people, and don't have an expectation of killing it on the first time. Those are the big ones, for a first timer.
Yeah. Don't let competition get in your way of having a good time.
Right.
That's
those
awesome.
are all great advice. So perfect timing, Tyler. So thanks for jumping in and hitting that. That's led us perfectly into that.
Yeah.
Yep. And just again, shout out to your YouTube channel for all the folks that are listening on the podcast. F Cancer Racing is the YouTube channel. Please jump over there, give him a subscribe. Where are you guys at numbers wise?
I think we're sub 50 subscribers. We're fairly new. We started it, I think, early last year or something like that, and we haven't really put in a whole lot of effort into it until Six Summer around that time this year. So we've been doing more shorts, more videos we've been putting out. We've got our Instagram page that has a link to the BCRF charity that we're doing. They're driving obviously with the pink, but we're doing a big thing this October to kind of boost our numbers and to to get that spread, that knowledge spread out there for obviously breast cancer awareness or all cancer awareness, but then to grow the channel so that more people can catch that education that we're trying to push. So we're doing a giveaway for the month of October on our Instagram. I'm buying a full Lucas Oil hot rod oil change. And then my wife's sister is doing a big swag bag of F Cancer Racing merch. And then a local gun shop, actually, who's a huge car enthusiast, big Motion Raceworks supporter, he's donating a pile of ammo for these giveaways just to kind of help drum up
That's great, man.
the membership. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. Well, listen, I say this to everybody that's been a guest on here in the past, but we want to have you back. I had put you off last week because we needed to do a shorter show because of some stuff I had going. And again, tonight's short because I'm leaving in the morning for 9 days. And, got to spend some time with the family. But guys, listen, do me a favor. Go over, find the channel on YouTube, find him on Instagram, find Joe on Facebook, friend him, be a part of this, drag and drive community that he's helping build as well.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, thank you very much, man. Stay with us for just a second, and I want to talk to you backstage while we wrap this up.
Absolutely.
All right. See you, Joe.
Sorry, man. Try to keep it pretty close to an hour, so I have the less editing to do for PowerTube. But guys, listen, I don't know. It's funny. I've watched a lot of his stuff. His stuff is great. They do a ton of. I don't know, man. Their videos are good, and what's great about channels that start with great stuff is once they really get going and get that rhythm built, like they're going to be out there. They've got 25 videos on the channel right now. I can't imagine what that's going to look like when it says 250 videos
Right.
on the channel. So guys, just go ahead. Let's try and get them to 100 tonight. If you'll do that for us, please, we'd appreciate that for sure. F Cancer Racing is their channel. All right, sir, lead us out, man.
All right. Once again, thank you everybody that has been in here making comments. I know it was a shorter show tonight, but man, we are busy people and we got more coverage to bring to you guys. I got more pictures to edit. Mike's headed off to 666 to get pictures, video. So we're gonna keep rolling. So thanks to you guys. And again, thanks to all of our sponsors. Again, they help us with everything we need from travel to equipment. They make this possible for us to do what we're doing. So thank you. Summit Racing Equipment, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Chains 3D, WAF Racing, Performance Built Transmission, J-Wire Solutions, Howard's Cam, Sweet Patina, PowerTube TV, and Racing Junk. Guys, we will see you on the next episode.
I gotta see you soon.
Like this show? Want more? Then head to WatchPTTV.com, the new 100% free PowerTube TV streaming network. Home of the best classic and new motorsports racing and build shows on the web.